afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to our second session with me today. It's a pleasure to have you here. So I did want to go ahead and start with just asking if it was okay to take a couple notes during the session. It's just so that I don't forget some important points.
That's fine.
Sounds good? Thank you. All right, and I did want to go ahead and speak really briefly. I do know that a couple days ago I received a Facebook friend request from your daughter. And I also was invited to your next family barbecue. And you know, I want to say I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful for thinking of me. But unfortunately, due to the NASAW ethics that I do have to abide as a social worker, unfortunately, I'm not able to go ahead and accept. Alright, I'm so sorry. I hope that, you know, we can continue being therapists and client. It would be a pleasure for me to continue helping you in this journey.
It makes sense.
Thank you. Everyone's okay with that?
Of course. Fine.
Hope you enjoy that barbecue. Alrighty, so what I did want to go ahead and start is that last session we talked a little bit on a couple of difficulties and barriers as a family you may be having. And one of the things that you came to a consensus on was that you wanted to work on your family being able to express your emotions and being able to express how you feel without it being a hostile and, you know, judgmental environment. But definitely that's what I would like to go ahead and work on. So what I wanted to go ahead and start with, we'll go ahead and start with you. I wanted to go ahead and ask every single one of you how you felt after the DUI incident when you were arrested a couple weeks ago, okay? And we'll just go ahead and go from there.
It was definitely really scary. I've never been in any type of incident with the police, so that was like kind of terrifying. I was really nervous, and I was nervous that I wasn't gonna be able to see my aunt again as well.
Okay. And how did you feel?
To be honest, I am very furious with my daughter and my sister-in-law because that was reckless endangerment and that could have killed my daughter. And I guess the reason why my family does not understand why I'm so upset the way I am is because my brother died from a drunk driver. So due to that, I'm very overprotective of my daughter and her well-being. And in many ways, I care about the well-being of my sister-in-law as well, but it's because it's been a consistent thing lately and we've tried many things to communicate and it's just not getting anywhere. At this point, I just feel like nothing is working.
Okay. And what about you, Lily? How did you feel after the DUI?
I feel bad. I don't know.
To be honest, this is a waste of time because we shouldn't even have to be going through this.
Well,
I mean,
you should let her talk.
Well, no, because to be honest, this is time and time again we talk about this and she's not understanding how this could affect Daisy, how this could affect our marriage because our marriage is on the verge of...
But she's here.
It doesn't matter. It's just she's being very reckless and the only problem that we have is her. And the only solution that I think we have is to put her in an inpatient facility. Of course you don't agree because you're so overprotective of your sister. It's time that we
are doing this in front of your daughter.
Well, you've influenced her long enough. She's a part of it now.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you for sharing. And I really appreciate your thoughts and concerns about your daughter, about your sister-in-law. What about you?
I'm just really sad that we're even in this situation, but I'm grateful that everyone agreed to be here today.
I mean, to be honest, it's just, I'm beyond furious because I own a construction business and my wife is a well-known real estate around the Miami area. So it's just embarrassing for us that the police officer had to come to our door with these two in the back of their car. So imagine us living in a nice, well-gated community, and all of a sudden we see police officers knocking on our door. You know, that's not what our family's known for. You know, we are a law-abiding citizen, but then we have my sister-in-law breaking the law with a DUI, and with my daughter in the car at the same time. So I'm beyond, well, it didn't seem like it. You seem to be defending them.
I am upset as well. I don't want anything to happen to Daisy or Lily, but I also understand Lily's going through a lot. She may not be dealing with it in the best ways, but maybe
okay, but we've offered counseling time and time again.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Violet. Thank you so much for your input. I really appreciate it. So I definitely do hear some strengths in your family. I do hear that you're a successful businessman. You and your wife both have businesses of your own. You're able to live in a well, safe community. That's a strength. That's definitely a protective factor in your family. You're here. You're united. You showed up. Yes, you have problems and difficulties right now in communication. That's a risk factor that you're not really able to express your emotions, because that can lead to you exploding one day with your emotions, you know? So but we want to go ahead and create an atmosphere where you're able to go ahead and express how you feel, express where you are mentally, express where you are in your thoughts and in your feelings as well. Okay? So what I would like to go ahead and do as a second session, we only have 8 sessions. So what I want to go ahead and do in the next 3 sessions is to go ahead and work on experiential therapy. So basically, research shows that it is a branch of family therapy that came from a humanistic approach. And it came from a family of expressive therapies. And that's what we want to go ahead and do. Find some sort of modality or therapy that helps, you know, allow us to go ahead and say our expressions, say our feelings, and really unroot whatever it is that we have suppressed as far as emotions. Now it's going to be a really good session, really good modality to guide our sessions. Basically, what this model does is that it sees emotional suppression as a root and cause of discord, and that's, I think, a little bit of what we are seeing here based on our last session where you shared with me that is definitely a barrier that you're experiencing. So the next 2 sessions, what I'd like to do is just really this session and next session focus on allowing each and every single one on an individual basis, or perhaps a group activity, really have time, individual time to express how you feel. Okay? So really no interruptions, a non-hostile environment, a non-judgmental zone to go ahead and express how you feel. Now in the 3rd session, what I'd like to do is after, you know, a couple days of having finished that group activity, let me know how it went. Do you see a shift in your dynamics as a family? Has your communication improved? Does it change? Do you feel you have more ability to go ahead and speak how you feel? Does that sound like something that sounds doable to you?
I guess.
Excellent, that sounds good. So what I like to go ahead and do is try the role play technique. Now this is usually generally somewhat of a fun activity that we get to go ahead and do, where we'll go ahead and stimulate emotional experiences with structured exercise. We're going to go ahead and act little scenarios in this safe environment to help uncover emotions and help gain insight into your own self and others. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. I was thinking maybe we can start with Juan. Sounds
Sure.
good? Okay, perfect. And how about you? How would you feel about starting?
That's okay.
Yeah? Okay, excellent. So we'll go ahead and start. So now we're going to go ahead and start our role play. And we're going to go ahead and start with Juan and Lily. Juan, you're going to go ahead and pretend to be Lily. And Lily, you're going to pretend to be Juan. In this scenario, Lily and Juan, Lily, you're going to go ahead and tell Juan what happened that night, really briefly, okay, and how it made you feel afterwards. And then you are going to go ahead and let him know how you would have liked him to respond to the event that happened to you. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to look at each other?
You know, in this case, yeah. I want to go ahead and have direct eye contact. And you can just move a little bit to the right. Perfect. Very excellent. All right, so you can go ahead and start, Lily. Let him know what happened that night.
One, I was very reckless earlier because I was drinking, driving, and to be honest, I was being irresponsible because I had Daisy in the car. And honestly, there's no excuse for that. I realized that I was wrong in that case because I had my niece in the car and her well-being could have been, honestly, she could have died from that, and I'm very sorry for putting you and Violet in that situation where you had to worry. And I will seek the help that I need.
I appreciate you apologizing and taking responsibility for what happened, and I'm willing to support you in getting help, and I'm willing to listen to you and how this has been affecting you, and maybe why you've been drinking, maybe help you understand, help listen to you
make you feel, fun?
Honestly, it gave me another perspective, only because ever since the situation has happened, it's just been a lot of back and forth, anger, tension, and it hasn't, our communication has been getting through, and after doing that role play, I've realized now that I haven't really been paying attention to Lily as I should have been, and it made me view that in another perspective.
And just right now, I'm gonna stop you before you go ahead, Lily, and let me know how that felt. That right now everybody was just kind of silent and gave you a moment to speak, and that was powerful in itself. There was power in that silence. You were able to express how you feel. You were able to speak in a non-hostile environment. That's what we want to go ahead and build over these next 2 weeks. So I'm very proud of the rest of you. And we're going to go ahead and give the same respect to Lily now. Lily, just take a few moments, and of course, please, let's just give her a couple minutes to fully express how that made her feel and how it all, so we can go ahead and alleviate any suppressed emotions that she may be feeling, since she hadn't had a chance just yet to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it made me realize just how impactful my decisions and behaviors are on others. So I guess sometimes I kind of just get selfish. Like, I'm just thinking about what I'm doing in the moment, having fun, and I want to show my niece a good time, and I'm not really thinking about the long-term consequences and how it's, like, affecting the rest of the family, Fawn and Violet and Daisy. So that just kind of helped me realize that it's important for me to take more responsibility and be more aware of how my actions are affecting others.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. That was excellent. And I really want to go ahead and commend you all for giving both of these individuals the time and space to be able to go ahead and be in a non-judgmental environment to speak how they feel. And this is really, something we want to go ahead and have as a staple in a family, as part of a healthy family. And I do want to go ahead and do a little bit more role playing. Do you find it nice? Was it enjoyable?
It was fun.
Excellent. So we're gonna go ahead and the next session we'll do a little bit more role play, and then as I mentioned, the third session is part of our treatment goal. We'll go ahead and process how things have been since we've been practicing expressing our emotions. Okay?
Thank you.
Pleasure.
you.
Thank you. Take care.